Peace. What's going on with it, man? I think I'll bring the show in a little bit different this time. This time I want to talk about something that's kind of something that it's going to be a road that we all going to have to eventually travel, something that we're going to have to deal with. And, man, this hat make my head look all smushed in it. But anyway, damn, ain't like that. Football season is upon us, and everybody know I'm with. I'm still Curtin, baby. We know the shirt tight as hell, man. I'm gonna have to talk to NFL fanatics about this shit, man. God damn. Anyway, my bad. I've been trying to cut down on profanity. I'm going to do it. I shouldn't even said that. But anyway, man, welcome back to the place where we bring it sexy back to the everyday hardworking men and women who impact your life within close proximity. We want to rise above this madness, which is called black culture. So this episode, man, is called Will You Allow Society to Throw You Away When You Get Old? And this is kind of sensitive to me because we all gonna have to travel this road to where we will become older. Our bodies won't function the same. Our memories won't operate the same. Just some things that will begin to dwindle. Hopefully not, but this is a reality. As we see in so many families, man, I see so many families going through a situation where they're putting a loved one in a home because, family members and children and siblings, they don't have the patience to deal with somebody who's declining in their health. To me, that's very heartbreaking. But that's a reality that some of us may face. I encourage people so much that while you are young, that you practice a healthy lifestyle, that you never stop moving. You understand? That you start to eat clean foods, clean up your diet. I know some people out there like to smoke and drink a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with that as long as you do it in moderation. But you have to understand, it's one thing about life. When we begin to drive, and we get our driver's license, we're going to have many different cars. We're going to drive them to the wheels, as they say, fall off. We'll trade one in and get a new one, trade that in, get another one. Or car might get totaled from an accident. We get a brand new car. And the one thing that you're not going to be able to get that's brand new, the one thing you can't trade in, the one that won't total out unless you're just done, is your own body, your own mind. And you come with this while you exist in this physical realm that we call life. It's critical, the things that you put into your body, just like most people that drive luxury cars, BMW, Benz. And this is before, the first time I jumped in a BMW and I had to put gas in it and I was about to put regular in it. Man, I almost got my head knocked out because the person was like, you don't put regular in a BMW. This is a luxury car. It's a premium car. You put in premium gasoline. But I noticed when it comes to our own health, we don't put in premium foods and we don't intake premium liquids. Now, I am guilty. And let me give you a disclaimer. I'm not a health guru. I don't always eat healthy. I do my damnedest, but I don't always eat healthy. Sometimes I do stop and get fast food. Sometimes I do eat past 10 o'clock at night. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. There's no reason to lie to the people. You got to be honest. But for the most part, I do the best that I can to drink as much water, eat as many fruits, salads, try to stay away from red meat every now and then. I will have a cheeseburger. That's something that I'm working off of. Now, when you're young and people tell you certain things like, hey, you need to stretch, you need to eat healthy. You are what you eat. I didn't really understand it. I'm like, once I eat it, I've eaten it. But what you eat does become you. And that even includes psychologically, like with the music you listen to, the shows that you watch. You will become what you eat. The critical nature of us practicing a healthy lifestyle as we get older is solely for the purpose for us to function regular and on our own until the late ages of our life, until our 70s, until our 80s, hopefully till our 90s. Now, people laugh when I say this, but I be so serious. One of the reasons why I exercise so much, and one of the reasons, especially when I cut down on the beef intake, because I ain't lying when I say this, I want to have sex to the day I die. Like, really. I don't want to ever not be able to work. Even if I'm 90 years old and the missus coming through the bedroom, she got on the see-through gown with her titties sagging down to her knees, I still want to catch an erection. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to knock somebody's daughter back out for the rest of my life. So that's one of the reasons why I exercise. However, I always tell people, when I look at some of the elderly, they move like dinosaurs. Now, this is the exception of those who have actually caught an illness. They have pain in the body. They need assistance with wheelchairs and canes. You have my sympathy. You have my I don't want to say sympathy. You have my compassion. You have my human compassion, my human patience, and my human understanding. But for those of you who are able-bodied, who just don't want to move, you just sitting there watching yourself gain weight over the years, that's inexplicable, and that is no excuse. However, it is going to cause major effects as you get older. You don't want to always get up bed with chronic pain. You don't have to get up out the bed with chronic pain. It's all based in how you live your life young. A lot of alcohol consumption is going to catch up to you. A lot of weed consumption is going to catch up to you. Cigarettes is going to catch up to you. Even a lot of sex, it will catch up to you. And sometimes too much, they even say too much cardio sometimes not good for you. So everything in moderation, everything with balance. But one thing I've always been told is movement is medicine. I always encourage people to read a book, do crossword puzzles. Listen, my mama had an aneurysm. She had a stroke and she bounced back. But to this day, my mom is always doing a crossword puzzle. She's always doing crossword puzzles. She's always doing like puzzles and things to keep her mind sharp. And I tell people all the time, read a book. You know, work on your memory. You know, I got an app I downloaded called Elevate, where each and every day it gives me exercises for my brain. I want to keep my brain focused. I want to keep my brain operational, because the one thing I don't want dementia. I don't want Alzheimer's. I just don't. I want to be able to function. And, you know, a lot of times, if I tell my children all the time, listen, if I get to the point where I can't function on my own, you can throw me in a home. Don't come see about me. Actually, if I was able to take my own life, if I couldn't function, I would do just that. If I can't exist in this world on my own terms and function like a natural human being, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. But I don't expect to put the weight on my children because of my bad healthy habits young. And now here I am, sick and old, and I'm relying on them to stop their life to deal with my life. I've lived my life. And that's something that we need to consider with our children. However, this is what I said too in my episode, Daddy's Girl, Stone Cold Killers, because one thing I noticed is that when the elderly gets sick, mainly a father, if he was a good father, or the grandmother or the mom, them girls are always there to take care of that elderly person. The women are always there most of the time. You know, I remember when my grandmother took sick before her last days, my aunt Pee Wee Doris, she took that role. She took it with a vengeance. To her, you know what I'm saying, to my grandmother's last day in this world, my auntie did that. So I say this because a lot of times we lose compassion for our elderly. We throw them away like they're nothing. You know, I'm 50 years old, and, you know, when I go hoop with these young guys, they call me Unc. They call me OG. That's fine. But some of these guys just think I'm dead. They think I can't move. They think I don't do nothing. They just, oh, you just old. You just this, that, and the third. And half the time, they don't even know I'll whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? Not to take it there, but I'm just saying, people, as you get older, begin to devalue you like you're nothing. They will throw you away. Throw you away. Society throw you away. How many veterans can call the VA and get respect over the phone? How many veterans can call the VA and make sure that their benefits are taken care of for all that they've done to this country? But once they sense that they're dealing with an elderly individual, they think they see now. They think they don't have any sense. How many veterans are even dealing with that? How many elderly people have to call a pharmacy and deal with their medication and get the worst treatment, or in the grocery store when they taking time getting their money out, or trying to just struggle to get things apart? There's no compassion. People are impatient. People are cussing them out. Can you open up another lane rather than honor our elderly and just simply help them out? I tell my mother all the time. I tell my mom and dad all the time, the world don't stop just because you've gotten older. Because when you're young, you move faster, you think faster. But one thing that I'm asking my elderly people to do is to consider the fact that just because you are elderly, you ought to be respected, but the world don't slow down for you. It's not supposed to. It didn't slow down for you when you were young, and it's not going to slow down for you when you're not young. And I don't expect the world to slow down for me when I get older. But the one thing that you must always do, you must always change with the times. I'm not talking about moral code, but you have to change with the times. You have to know how to survive coming along in the brand new world. Okay? When you're in a grocery line or store, to my elderly, they don't have time to have a full conversation with you. They have a line of people that have to get out the store. That's not the time to talk about your great legacy 34 years ago on your job, or what you've accomplished in the war, or how many of your grandchildren have graduated college. You have those conversations elsewhere. You have to keep it moving. You understand? To my elderly people, I need sometimes you all understand that some people, sometimes certain things just don't have to be done just because you're older. You ought to be respected. You ought to be honored, but that's not the way that the world operates. And in your conversation, minimize your win. You don't have to be long-winded. But again, too, sometimes we don't understand when it comes to our elderly. Sometimes they have nobody to talk to. You know, sometimes everybody knows me, man. When it comes to the elderly, I have a heart. You know, just understanding everything that my mother went through when she had an aneurysm and a stroke. I can imagine everything that she went through when none of her sons was around, when she was struggling with her speech to do business with an impatient individual on the other side of the counter. I can just imagine what she had to go through, but she's still fighting and still living her life. But what we have to understand is that practicing a healthy life young will help you along the way when you get older. And that you need to be abrupt. You still need to be working on being fast and quick with some things. All right? And don't hold up things. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but this is a reality. And like I was saying earlier, just a few minutes ago, I had to learn how sometimes when an elderly individual comes up to me and strike up a conversation that I'm long done with and they steady talking, the fleshly me's like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. You talking too much. But the human in me will listen, because I've come to understand that I might be the only person that they have to talk to in that day. Their children probably don't call. Family probably don't visit. You understand? Everybody look at them as nothing. Don't want to hold a conversation with them. Won't even hold the door. Say, hey, how you doing today, ma'am or sir? Our elderly still need an outlet to talk. They want to express the glory years of their life, and they deserve to. Sometimes they just want to get some things that they want to say that they have nobody else to talk to. And I'm encouraging a lot of my elderly people. You're not deceased. You're not dead. Form a community where you all come together and you all enjoy each other's space. Because a lot of times the youth and younger people, we don't understand. And sometimes I've been guilty of not understanding, not because I was being mean or crass, because something I just didn't, I'm not in that reality to understand why you are the way that you are, why you talk as long as you do, why you care to have conversations, or why you take your time. Sometimes you might be losing your motor skills, but nobody in the line standing in the grocery store, we don't know that. But this is something that we all have to work on. So the question is, will you allow society to throw you away when you get older? And I should say that you shouldn't. But one way the society is going to respect you, honor you as you get older, and one thing that people love are vibrant older people still moving, still getting it, still exercising, still singing, still dancing, still playing ball, still having sex, still traveling, still got enough mobility to deal with the grandchildren. I tell people all the time, yoga, yoga, yoga. There's a saying in yoga that God is in the spine. You can literally reverse a lot of aging effects on the body just by getting up and stretching every day. And if you can't get up, your knees hurt, they got chair yoga, which I should have tagged somebody. I should have put the links in the video. Be patient with me, y'all. I'm going to get this podcasting thing down to where I won't be making any rookie mistakes, all right? But I'm still a rookie, literally. But these are certain things that you could do just to stay mobile and keep your life active to the highest level, to the highest degree. You can do this, but don't allow society to throw you away. Change with the times. Like my dad, this dude is funny, man. You can't even send my dad a picture to his phone because it's like, oh no, it's going to give me a virus. I'm like, Dad, just download the picture. It's a picture. It's going to give me a virus. Dad, you're going to eventually have to get some type of cash app, Venmo, pay me. He won't do it. He's going to write checks. This dude is funny, but my dad is still active. My mom is still active. And I'm encouraging all my elder people, stay active. If you don't do nothing but just get up and just kick your feet 10 times a day, get up and walk around the house, all over the house, go up the steps 3 times, go around the block, walk the dog, do something, get in the pool, but just stay active, stay moving, read books, keep that mind sharp, stay active, think positive thoughts. And us young people, those my age and younger right in there, listen, let's not be too impatient to point fingers and be disgruntled just yet, because we have to walk this path that they are on. We're following them. So just remember, when you was being nasty and mean to elderly people that have no impatience, that day's going to come where there's going to be a young person that's going to be nasty and mean and discourteous towards you because of the way you're conducting yourself as an elderly individual. And this is something so serious. We can't throw away our elderly, because at the end of the day, people who come for us, came before us, they're the reason why we're here. They're the reason why we exist. They're owed honor and respect. And some of y'all elders, y'all think y'all just supposed to be honored and respected just simply because you're older. No, that don't necessarily qualify for intelligence and wisdom just because you're older. Let's just get that straight right now. Because like I told you, one of the most hideous shit I ever seen was a 65-year-old black woman bragging about her ass. And she had no other wisdom to bring to the table except how big her butt was. So just because you're older, that don't always mean that warrants respect. You got to earn it. And you earn respect through wisdom. So listen. The next time, man, and I had to really learn this because I know one day I was in traffic and I was just blowing at this woman. I'm like, what are you doing? Move, move, move. And I pulled up next to her at the light. It was an elderly woman. I felt so bad. I felt so bad because her look was like I had her feelings. Like she was doing the best she can. She probably don't know how to use Uber, and she probably had no family member to drive her, so she had to do it herself. And I felt so bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself. Stay active. Stay healthy. Feed your mind. Read books. Do puzzles. Travel. Play with the grandchildren. Get a pup. If it's just you, get a puppy. Something or someone to keep you company. Make yourself happy. Do something for yourself. You've been doing stuff for people your whole life. Now you can be selfish. But whatever you do, don't allow society to throw you away just because you become older. You don't have to slow down. And the world don't have to slow down for you as well either. Keep it pushing. Be sharp. Learn new technology. Learn how to operate. Learn how to function. Just don't say, oh, that's that old technology stuff. I don't know nothing about that. You're going to have to know something about that. Even if you have to end up in the hospital, everything in the hospital is not like it was in the 70s, 80s. Everything is digital and technology. So you must understand the world that you're living in. The same way these babies are being born. I have a 7-year-old. I have to be able to acclimate my daughter to the new world. You know, some people say kids shouldn't have a cell phone. Well, they're going to have something moving to the future. It ain't like it was in the 80s and 70s where we could exist without cell phones and pages, and life was much more simple then. But life is not the same as it was now. But the one thing that should never change is human compassion for one another. Man, I don't know. This hat really make my head look like it's smushed in. But anyway, this is something I really wanted to talk about real quick and present before it got too late. And I've been really meaning to upload these episodes, but I've been so busy, gang. Trust me, I'm going to keep it popping. And a lot of people, make sure that when you put on your alerts for your notifications, that you hit the bell to the right that says subscribe, and it hits the bell. Hit all. I'm close. I'm getting close to about 300 subscribers, and I'm excited and I'm growing. But a lot of people are like, I didn't know you had shows up. I don't get the alerts. So I don't know if it's an algorithm thing. I don't know if YouTube is kicking it out. There's still a lot of stuff that I'm learning about podcasts. I'm going to form an email list. So every time a new episode come up, you will be notified. You will know. As always, man, I thank you for sitting in. Check me out on Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. I have the links down in the description. You're driving, just listen. You know, like I said, it's really important because a lot of times, man, who really wants to just sit up and watch somebody talk on video? Like, that's really kind of boring, especially when you don't have a guest, and especially when you're not in studio. But anytime anybody sit up and rock with me, man, I appreciate you so greatly. I honor you. I value you. Thank you for your support. I will continue to push on and move further. You all inspire me, man. And I learned a lot from a lot of great people from all type of different ethnic backgrounds, different communities. I learned so much from people. I just love humanity because humanity can work and humanity will work. This is the place where we're bringing sexy back to the everyday hardworking men and women who impact your life within close proximity. We want to rise above this madness, which is called black culture. All right. And listen, hug a local hero today. Hug your plumber, hug your electrician, hug a police officer, not a race soldier. Hug a fireman, you know what I mean? Hug a mayor that cares about the community, you know, and community leaders. You know, hug your coach. Most of all, hug your parents. Hug your mother and father. Let them know how much you love them and appreciate them. Hug the people that you just value so much because they impact your life in major ways. And this is the way things need to be, man. You know, it's the way that things need to be. It's the highest level act of humanity that one can do. It's to value and love one another, no matter where you come from, how you grew up. Breathing is such a beautiful thing. It really is. Until next time, man, I thank you as always, man. Peace out.